right over his back. Let's go for a headshot, Remington. What do you think?
Go for it, man. You have a good group going on right behind the ear. Same spot.
Not bad.
Yep, not bad at all.
Not bad, not bad. Guys, welcome back. This is Eric here with Iraq Veteran 88. Today we're going to be taking a look at a couple of primary arms ACSS optics. And these are a couple of new optics for primary arms, and we're going to be showing off two optics in this video because they're both hunting related optics, and they're really geared more towards predator hunters, big game hunters, and things like that. These things are really awesome. We're going to talk about them a bit. You guys know that Primary Arms has been putting out some really cool stuff, and man, these are no exception. This is the ACSS Predator. Okay, this particular optic is pretty unique in terms of the way that it operates. You basically are able to range small game such as coyotes out to long range using the built-in Bdc reticle. And the way that this Bdc on this particular optic is set up to work is that you essentially are factored in with a 10-inch circle. Okay, so the boiler room on an average coyote, let's just say, is about a 10-inch circle. All right, these optics are set up to run the Hornady VMAX 55 grain. That's what they're pretty much set up to run out of the factory. And with these optics, whether you run 30-06, 308, or in this case, this one's really catered more to like a AR with a 16-inch barrel, or even if you want to run with a little bit longer barrel, this is more of an AR optic. But with this particular optic, you basically have some suggestions that they give you in terms of zeroing this optic. For our cases, we're zeroed, I think, like 1.5 inches high at 100. We did chronograph this Hornady Varmint Express ammunition, and we found that it to be a little bit slower than the lowest velocity threshold that Primary Arms listed in the manual on this optic. It didn't end up being a problem. We've tested this out to all the way out to 500, which we will be shooting it out to 500 today. And it tracked just fine. Out to 5, it was maybe just a scotch low, just due to the ammo being a little bit lower velocity than what they advertised. But that is what it is. Really cool optics, tracking really nice. This particular rifle was shooting very nice. That was 300 yards, by the way, on our coyote target. And we've got a 16-inch Faxon barrel, and this particular barrel is a 416R stainless that is nitrided. Okay, and this particular barrel has their flame flute cutting, which kind of helps reduce the weight and helps with cooling and everything like that. So this AR is kind of a parts master, just a bunch of stuff we had laying around. We got a 13-inch Geisley M-Lock rail. We've got a Geisley, I want to say this is a 2-stage trigger in this gun, it is. And then we've got a worn one-piece base with the ACSS Predator optic in place. This is a second focal plane optic. That's to keep the cost a little bit lower. With the second focal plane, basically your range estimations and BDCs are only going to work at maximum magnification. Okay, so you would bump it all the way up to maximum magnification and be able to get that together. Okay, so this is a 1:6, I want to say. Yeah, this one is. So you've got a 1:6 on this. We'll get into the Orion in a moment. Now the Orion is set up a little bit different. We've got it mounted on a CZ bolt action 308. I'm going to take a couple more shots, and then we've got a special guest here today who is going to do some shooting for us. All right, I'm going to take a few more shots out to some slightly longer distance. All right, so that was 3, Remington.
All right, what are you doing for next?
We got Remington Little with us, by the way. That's our special guest. He's going to do some shooting too.
Yes, sir.
Let's get out to 350.
Okay.
All right, so the way that the BDC in this particular optic is set up is you've got your 100-yard 0 point, which is your triangular shaped stadia in the center of the reticle. Okay, to get out to 2, you're going to aim basically in between the pointed vertical stadia and the center of the 300-yard center reticle, if that makes sense. So where we were shooting at 3 was the first donut. Okay, so at maximum magnification, the reason that I chose the coyote target as my first target is because the first circle on the 300-yard stadia fills up the boiler room of that coyote perfectly at this distance, which tells me that, now I knew it was 300 yards away, but if I didn't know that the coyote was 300 yards away, I would select whichever range that circle filled up, the 10-inch circle on the coyote's boiler room, okay? And the area from basically from the backbone to the belly is 10 inches, okay? And that allows me to help determine the range that we're talking. Now, I've got a target that's 350 yards away. Okay, well, I've got a 400-yard stadia with the 10-inch circle that it's helping me out with. I've got the 300, 400, and out to 500 yards. Well, what if I want to shoot 350 yards? Well, then obviously, just like any other BDC, without dialing, you're just going to go in between the two settings. Let's try that. All right, so that means that with my 300 yard, I should be able to, on that D28, I ought to be able to just aim more or less at the head, and it should drop it right in, Remington.
Sounds good. I'm ready when you are.
Okay.
Boom. Right beneath the chin. Right shoulder.
Not bad.
Not bad at all.
All right, that's tracking good. All right, now we're going to punch all the way out to, that's 450, okay?
Yep.
So again, with 450, we're in that purgatory zone in between targets. So I have to aim in between the two donut-shaped stadias in order to get it out to 450. So we're going to do the same thing this time, 450 yards. And we're on the top end of what this reticle's designed to do.
Favoring the right edge.
Good group though.
Yep.
Okay. Now we're going to go all the way up to 5. Now for this, we should be able to just use the smallest donut and the very bottom of the reticle, the last stadia, and that is a 10-inch circle. So at maximum magnification, what I'm looking at in that circle is a 10-inch circle, okay? So let's say I were shooting, let's just say in this case a group, and the group doesn't even cover half of that 10-inch circle. Then that means that this gun would be shooting roughly a 5-inch group at that distance. That's not what it's meant to do. It's meant to find range. So if a coyote were standing down there, or if we were to move the coyote target all the way out to 5, then that circle would fill up from his backbone to his belly. That's the easiest way to explain it. And that lets me know he's 500 yards away. Now in a hunting situation, this is a long shot, guys. It really is. You ready? I've got a few rounds left in the mag here, and then we're going to let Remington take a shot or two.
I'm all set.
Okay. Right in there.
Dang, right in the center. Right next to it. Whew. Good group.
Looks like it tracks, bud.
I'd say so. It's impressive how quickly you can gauge from 300 yards all the way out to 500 without any adjustments.
You know, and that 55 grain Hornady is definitely getting down there, despite the fact that when we chronographed this ammo, it was a little bit slower than what we figured it would be. We thought it would be at least 2,900 feet per second at a minimum out of a 16-inch barrel, which is the lowest velocity threshold for this particular optic, for its let's just say its lowest velocity threshold. But even though it's slightly slower, it's still tracking just fine. Before we move on to the Orion, guys, I'm gonna let Remington fire a couple of shots and just give his thoughts on the optic, just his first exposure.
Sounds good.
Have some fun, man. You heard me explain it, so just, if you have any questions, just let me know.
Alrighty.
What you gonna shoot at first?
I'll do the coyote.
Okay. Send it when you're ready.
Alright.
It's a good group on that coyote.
Ooh. Didn't chamber. We're good.
That's all right. I won't tell. Nobody will know. It's just us.
Dry fire practice anyway.
Impact. Yep. That round's definitely got some velocity.
Yeah.
Despite the fact that it chronoed so slow, it's getting down there.
It sure is. Very easy shots. All right, I'm gonna try to give him an eyeball.
Go for it, man. Right in the neck.
Okay.
There you go, that's eyeball.
All right.
So why don't you go on out to 5.
Sounds good.
Give it a try. Yep, lower right part of the quadrant of the gong, but you're on it.
Okay.
Now guys, the one at 500 is a stick in, so it doesn't ring quite as loud. These are all shootsteel.com targets that we're shooting here on the range today. Good. Kind of cheating the lower part of the gong, but you're in there.
Okay.
Good.
Where did that one hit?
About 2 inches from your last shot.
Okay.
And you're shooting a good group.
Nice. I'm holding at about the left shoulder.
You're in there. Your last 3 shots landed into probably about a 4-inch group, maybe a little bit bigger.
That's impressive.
Yeah, I mean, for a little 16-inch barrel, not bad.
Yeah.
Good. Center mass. Yep.
I could do that all day, man. That's awesome.
Yep.
All right, I'm going to try the 450.
450, okay. And remember what I said, just kind of go in between the two.
Yep.
Man, that's a good group at 450 from earlier. Keep doing that. Center mass. Good shooting.
Back to 5.
Yep.
That's it.
Yeah, at 450 you probably shot about a 4-inch group at 450 and 5, about 4 inches.
Okay, nice.
Not bad.
I'll take it.
All right, guys, we're gonna look at the Orion really quick. Now, this particular optic is a little bit more full-featured than the Predator, I think, and once you give me a chance to explain it, you'll see what I'm talking about. This optic really can be at home both for predators and for larger game because of the way that the vertical stadias are set up in the optic. It's 4 to 14 power, quarter MOA adjustments, adjustable parallax here on the left side. You've got Seekins rings that this one is sitting in. This is a CZ457 with a 26-inch barrel, 1 in 10 twist. Now, when you look at the instructions on these optics, it'll give you a list of calibers, a short list of calibers, like primarily 30-06 and 308, and they give you a couple of different bullet weights. These optics were tailored to the Hornady SST projectile, whether you're running the 150, I think they do, a 180 and a 165, a couple of different weights, both in the 06 and the 308. And then obviously, depending on the velocity that you're getting out of your particular rifle, you will then zero per the instructions for what they're calling for whatever cartridge and velocity that you're getting, okay? We opted for the 150 grain Hornady Superformance, and this is loaded with the 150 grain Hornady SST. Now, I know aesthetics don't matter, but that is a dang cool box. I don't care who you ask. That's a smart, I love that freaking cartridge on fire with the engine on it. That's a really cool thing anyway. Kudos to Hornady, because that's style, right? That's cool. Because you know what? The picture on the box matters, right? All right, anyway, so we're running 150 grain ammo. This is a 10-shot mag. And this CZ is a pretty dang neat gun. This one's kind of a loaner from a buddy of mine. And it is more of a, I suppose, target rifle you would consider. It does have a very heavyweight barrel, a big bench rest style stock. This maybe not an incredibly practical hunting rifle. However, it shoots so good. We were verifying this Orion out to longer distances earlier, and I was making headshots on the D28 at 500 yards. So the Stadia on this one goes out to 600 yards, okay? And if you're already familiar with the ACSS Reticle, you're gonna be a little bit more familiar with this one, just because it's a little bit more traditional for what they do. On the right side of the reticle, you have a series of vertical stadias. And those stadias represent 18 inches of elevation, okay? So basically, that's your range finding capabilities. You also get a mil of wind hold in between, or maybe a half a mil of wind hold. I have to refer back to the manual in terms of windage holds as well that those give you. So those horizontal stadias are purposely spaced in a way that give you a verifiable and repeatable windage hold as well. So that's smart. You also have traditional mills that are built in to the in-between settings on this particular rifle too, so that if you have an odd gun that you want to mount this on and it doesn't fall within the ranges of what they give you in the manual for AUT6 308 in these speeds and in these bullet weights, you can still tailor your own dope card and figure it out on your own as well if you don't want to use the cartridges that this thing was designed to launch. So basically what you do is, the reason that this optic can be tailored to use for predators and large game like elk and deer and things like that is because at 18 inches, you're on the backbone of a coyote down to his feet instead of his belly. On the Predator, you have a 10-inch circle, which represents from backbone to belly. On this, it's backbone to feet. Now, since I don't have, obviously, a deer-sized target down there to go from belly to backbone, you can go from belly to feet on, like, let's say a hog or another shorter animal than a deer. That would get you more in the ballpark. So let's just have a look, and we'll take a few shots, but we'll also confirm that. So looking downrange, I know that my coyote's 300, but if I go from his feet to his backbone, that vertical stadia just about fills up from his backbone to his feet, okay? Our gongs down there are 18-inch, or they're 22 inches high. They're half-size D28s, so with the head included, it makes for a 22-inch gong, but from the bottom of the head to the bottom of the gong is a perfect 18 inches. So to test the reticle, let's look out to 500 yards, and then we're going to use the 5 hash mark on the right of the reticle, and we're going to fill up from the bottom of the gong to the top of the shoulders, perfectly 500 yards. So that's how we know how far away that is. Now, if we were looking at a coyote, we'd go from his feet to his backbone. If we were looking at a deer, we'd go from his belly to his backbone. If you were looking at a hog, you'd probably go from about just above it where his feet are to his backbone, depending on the size of the hog. So that's where being a hunter comes into play. Being able to judge how large the animal is too can also kind of factor that in. These are generalizations that are given to help you estimate range. So I'm going to shut up and shoot. Remington, I'm going to go for the coyote, I guess.
Okay, I'm on.
Okay. And then we're going to get Remington on this gun. This sucker is loud. Sounds like a freaking cannon.
Boom.
Right in the boiler room.
Yep.
Tell you what, let's do a headshot there on him.
Okay. Perfect, man. Perfect.
Nice. The trigger on this CZ is excellent. Really, really nice rifle. CZ, man, they are just doing such a wonderful job with a lot of their guns, and I know a lot of you guys agree. Their pistols are wonderful, their carbines are wonderful, and this is my first time behind a CZ bolt action. And so far, I really like it. It's cool. Let's go for 500, just because we can.
Okay.
Now again, on this does go out to 600 yards. So if you're looking for a slightly longer shot, you want to run a 308, you can get a little bit longer distance on coyotes for those of you that are trying to shoot coyotes further than 500 yards. That's available in the Predator. Let's try to replicate the headshot that I made earlier. And watch me not be able to get it now.
No, you got it, man.
Nothing but net. Right over his head.
Yep.
Let me try again. But the thing is, if you were aiming at the boiler room of an animal, that would have been a kill shot all day long. Right over the top.
Yep.
Okay, I'm being silly here. Let me aim a little lower, because those rounds are literally just going right over the top of his head.
Absolutely.
Let's go for the neck. So that hit him in the head, so it's maybe just a scotch high. Yep. All right, center mass this time. Let's see where we're at. Of course, the camera's rolling and I freaking miss. That's how it goes. Right. There we go. More like it.
Center.
Good, that's right where we want it. Not bad.
Not bad at all.
You got to try this gun out, man. You're going to like it.
All right. Easy to see the trace on those big bullets.
Oh, yeah.
Sure.
And you know, the funny thing is, those 150s are getting there pretty quick.
They are.
That's kind of why, you know, I knew we were running a little bit longer barrel in this 308, so that's kind of why I opted for the 150s. I figured they would really get down there with some speed.
Yeah. And
we did find that we were getting some pretty silly velocities out of that 150 in this 26-inch barrel. This is probably an extreme case comparing to a hunting rifle, but that should give you guys kind of an idea of what we're dealing with here. I don't know, man. Between the two optics, I feel like the Orion is maybe a little bit more useful over a wider range of different purposes. However, I can also see where the Orion probably wouldn't be a terribly good fit for an AR compared to the Predator. Now, the Predator is a perfect optic because you can dial it down to low power as well. Like that 1-to-6 capability is a really nice thing to be able to get out there on an AR. And one thing about that particular optic too that I think is kind of considerable is that being a 1-to-6, you could just about use that thing for 3-gun, because a lot of times you're shooting gongs in 3-gun. So if you're talking a 12 or 10-inch gong or whatever, that's a very quick range estimation that you can make in a 3-gun shoot or some type of a match like that. Might be a potential option for that as well. You know, maybe an unintended consequence outside of the wheelhouse of what it's designed to do, but pretty dang cool. And both the optics, the capabilities are there. They're tracking well. And we wanted to really just put both these optics in one video just to show you guys some of the hunting offerings from ACSS, from Primary Arms. That's kind of new for Primary Arms in terms of like catering to more of the hunters and stuff. So just like they've applied the ACSS Reticle and a lot of the other things they've dealt with, they've done a great job at putting up with a reticle here that can really help out some of the hunters out there. So I know hunting season's coming up, so we wanted to get this video out for you guys. Check it out, see what you think. I'm going to let Remington have a go, but I think it's pretty cut and dry. I mean, guys, they work. The elevation adjustments are great. The BDC works great on both the optics. I haven't shot this with an Alt 6 or any heavier bullets, but just for this particular load, this gun, as we've got it dialed in, she's running just fine. Don't see any major issues. Remington, let's get you a mag or two loaded up.
Okay.
Let you guys have some shots, see what you think.
Sounds good.
Let's do it. Okay, Remington is gonna have a shot here on the Orion.
Yep.
See what you think, man.
Alrighty. I'll try walking it out. Start at 100.
Okay. Whenever you're ready. Aim at the bolt or whatever.
Okay. Squish my ear a little bit. There we go.
Dead on the money, bud.
All right. Go for the coyote.
Go for it.
Let's see. I'll go for a headshot, just like you.
Right over the top of his head,
Oh.
just barely.
All right. Let's see.
If you were aiming center mass at the body, you would have had him.
Okay.
Right in the face.
There we
Good
go.
shot. What do you think?
Not too bad. Let's see what 350 is like. Go for center mass.
Go for it. Nice.
All right. Now 450. Glass is getting foggy. It's a warm one.
Oh yeah.
Okay. 450.
Good shot. You're in there. I will say that overall the rounds might be hitting just slightly higher than they normally would, just because this is a freakishly fast round out of this long barrel.
Yeah.
But other than that, man, it's good to go.
Okay. I'll do one more there. Let's see.
Center mass, good shot.
Nice.
Is that where you're aiming?
Yep, right on it.
Good deal. Okay.
All right, let's see about this 500-yard guy.
Yep. Pretty good little tick.
It is.
Yeah, now that I see the shots on the plate that I made, they are maybe just a slightly higher.
Okay.
But that round is moving faster than the highest velocity threshold listed in the manual.
Yeah. I'm gonna try to give the guy a haircut.
Go for it. You're in there.
All right.
Good shot. Right in the head. So it is shooting a little higher. You aiming center mass?
I'm aiming just below the chin area.
Oh, well then there you go. Yeah, that's about right. It's just a few inches high.
Yep.
Good shot. Man, I'm telling you, in a hunting situation, that's a dead deer.
Oh yeah. Several times over.
Good shot. You're in there.
Alrighty. That's it. I like it.
Let's let Chad have a go on this thing.
All right, so somehow or another I was roped into shooting this here CZ557. Boo-hoo, right? Such a sweet gun.
Whatever will you do?
Whatever will I do? I will say, this sucker with this ammo, I never tried the Super Performance before. This stuff gets down. You know, Eric was mentioning that it's a little bit hotter than the specified velocity for this optic. They specify on the box here 3,000 feet per second. They specify 3,000 feet per second on the manual here for the primary arms, and this stuff's getting down at like 3047, and it's got an SD of 10, extreme spread of 37.
Get out of here.
That is fantastic for factory ammo, and this is hunting ammo. This isn't even match grade stuff. I've shot some match grade ammo that doesn't even perform this well. Awesome, awesome stuff. Kudos to Hornady on this. Man. But the only bad thing about this rifle is it's loud. It's loud. All right.
Just pretend it's suppressed. You'll be all right.
All right, I'm just gonna go for the gusto. I'll shoot at 5 because all y'all been shooting at 5 and doing good.
Might as well.
Making headshots. All right, let me see where I'm at here. I'm just gonna aim center mass to start with.
Send it. Right in there.
Dude, like literally that round landed right where I was aiming. All right, hang on.
A little high, but you're right in there.
Yep. I mean, when I was grouping this gun, getting it set up and everything, it was grouping about a minute. So a minute with factory hunting ammunition is pretty dang stellar. I mean, very, very impressive. Reticle's tracking really well. I mean, 3 different shooters, and we all got behind this thing and sending rounds out to 500 yards.
Good shot. You're in there.
All right, let me see if I can do a headshot there.
Right in the neck. Good shot.
All right, a little bit higher then.
I mean, you're definitely boiler room accuracy on an animal.
Yeah, I'm gonna aim just a touch higher. I want to get a center of the face shot, like right in the nose. I mean, that head area on that half-size D28 is only 4 inches wide. So we're talking a 4-inch target at 500 yards, sub-MOA target.
Right in there.
Got a little bit of mirage coming off the barrel, a little bit of mirage downrange because it is a hot one today for sure, like Remington said earlier.
Right in there. That was in the neck. Good shot.
That was right over the top. I brought my point of aim up just a tiny bit because Eric keeps telling me it's hitting in the neck. I went right over the top of his head. I could see that bullet go all the way down range.
I'm thinking in terms of like a 10-inch circle, you know what I mean?
Oh,
like,
well, yeah.
I mean, you're in there. That one drifted a little bit to the right.
Okay.
But you hit it. It's in there. Same spot. Not bad though.
One more round? Yeah, one more. Hell, we're just breaking this rifle in now.
I know.
This thing hasn't even had, but not even 100 rounds through it yet.
Working well. Good shot. Your last 3 shots, Chad, probably about 4-inch group.
Dude,
I mean, not bad.
awesome ammo, awesome optic. I mean, these things are like 300 bucks. The glass is clear enough. I mean, I can see everything downrange that I need to. I mean, what is there not to like about it? Drop this thing on a hunting gun, go out and go hunting. No fiddling with the dials, none of this, oh, I need to zero at 200 yards just so I, have my maximum PBR of 300 yards or whatever the case is, and I can just aim with my duplex. No, you figure out what range that animal's at and you squeeze the trigger on whatever stadia you need to shoot that animal at.
Pretty cool, isn't it?
Fantastic. So, Remington Little's hanging out with us and we're gonna give him a shameless plug, so.
Yeah,
where do they follow you at?
You can follow me on Instagram at Little Remington. Do a lot of hunting photos, outdoor stuff like that, camping. It's a good time.
Y'all can follow him. I don't follow him. I'm kidding. Of course I follow him. But thanks guys for watching the video today. We hope you enjoyed this look at these two primary arms optics. These optics really represent a change in the cheap scope aspect of the market. I mean, when you can get a sub $300 optic, you cannot beat the features of this optic for the money. A lot of people might frown on them being imported and everything, but guys, these things are fantastic for their given and intended purposes. So, hope you guys enjoyed the video. Want to give a quick shout out to all our Patreon and ManCan supporters. You guys rock. You guys keep us going. And until next time, we'll talk to you later.